NBA shocker. A massive trade is brewing that could completely transform the Golden State Warriors, and it involves two major NBA stars. The front office is working behind the scenes on a blockbuster deal that could shake up the entire league and redefine the Warriors' path to another championship. Fans are in disbelief, rivals are on edge, and insiders are calling it one of the boldest moves in recent memory. Will this trade finally give the Warriors the edge they need? Or is this a desperate gamble to stay relevant? The stakes are sky high and the clock is ticking. Don't miss the full breakdown of this game-changing trade and what it means for the future of the franchise. Things are heating up in the Bay Area. If you thought the Golden State Warriors were just going to sit back and let the dynasty fade away quietly, think again. According to fresh reports out of Blockbuster.com and echoed by analysts across the league, Golden State is preparing something seismic this offseason. They're looking to revamp their roster in a major way by potentially landing not one, but two game-changing big men, Nikola Vucevic and Daniel Gafford. Yeah, you heard that right. A double-pronged assault on the Warriors' long-standing Achilles heel, the center position. After years of patchwork solutions and short-term fixes, it looks like the front office is finally going all in to upgrade the 5 spot. This isn't just another trade rumor. This has the potential to completely shift the balance of power in the Western Conference. Let's start with Nikola Vucevic. The two-time All-Star has long been one of the most versatile and reliable big men in the game. At 6'10" and nearly 270 pounds, he brings a rare blend of size, skill, and finesse. He's a true stretch 5, capable of knocking down threes, dishing from the high post, and gobbling up rebounds. Last season with Chicago, Vucevic averaged about 18 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 assists per game while shooting nearly 35% from beyond the arc. He's not just a stat padder, he's the kind of center who elevates the offense by creating space and drawing defenders out of the paint. Imagine what that would do for Steph Curry. Think about it. How often has Curry been forced to operate without a reliable big man who can actually stretch the floor? With Vucevic, defenders can't just collapse on Steph every time he gets a screen. The pick-and-pop threat becomes real, and suddenly, Curry has more room to cook. That also means more freedom for Jimmy Butler, who the Warriors already shocked the world by acquiring earlier this offseason. Add Vucevic to that mix, and the spacing just gets ridiculous. But it's not just about offense. The Warriors know they need someone to protect the paint. And that's where Daniel Gafford enters the chat. Gafford has quietly become one of the most effective rim protectors in the league. After being traded to the Mavericks, he played a key role in shoring up their defense and anchoring their interior presence. He averaged 1.5 blocks per game and brought a ferocity that Golden State hasn't seen at the center spot in years. He's bouncy, relentless, and knows his role: defend, rebound, and throw it down with authority. In a way, Vucevic and Gafford offer two sides of the same coin. Vucevic is your stretch 5 finesse operator, while Gafford is your athletic, rim-running shot blocker. And if Golden State can somehow land one, let alone both, they immediately plug the two biggest gaps in their roster. Now, let's talk trade mechanics. Because moves like this don't come cheap. According to reports, Golden State is willing to get aggressive. That means putting young talent on the table, guys like Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, Brandon Podziemski, and potentially future draft picks. These are not throwaway names. Kuminga, for instance, is coming off a breakout season where he finally flashed the two-way potential that had scouts raving about him coming out of the draft. His athleticism, scoring ability, and defensive versatility make him a coveted asset. Podziemski, meanwhile, surprised a lot of people last season with his mature floor game, crafty shot making, and unselfishness. He quickly became a fan favorite in Golden State and earned Steve Kerr's trust early. And then there's Moody, another young piece who's shown flashes but has yet to put it all together. The Warriors might also have to part with future picks, which they've been reluctant to do in recent years as they've tried to balance winning now with developing for the future. But that whole two-timeline experiment? Yeah, it's pretty much over. The front office is now signaling loud and clear, it's about maximizing Steph Curry's final championship window. And that means making bold, win-now decisions, even if it means letting go of promising youth. From what we know so far, the Chicago Bulls and Dallas Mavericks are open to exploring deals. Chicago could be heading into a soft rebuild, and moving Vucevic for younger assets could accelerate that process. Dallas, having made a deep playoff run, may be looking to adjust their roster construction and add depth at the wing or guard spots. That's where someone like Kuminga or Podziemski becomes intriguing for them. But Golden State isn't the only team looking to make moves this summer, so they'll have to be strategic. They'll need to act quickly and possibly loop in a third team. Reports suggest the Cleveland Cavaliers could play that role, potentially facilitating the movement of contracts or absorbing draft capital to balance out salaries. These deals are never easy, but if anyone can pull off a creative, multi-team blockbuster, it's Warriors GM Mike Dunleavy Jr. and the rest of the Golden State front office. So, what would this trade mean for the Warriors on the court? First and foremost, it frees up Draymond Green to move back to his natural power forward position, where he's most effective. Draymond at the 5 worked in small bursts during the height of the dynasty, but at this point in his career, it's asking too much. His energy, instincts, and leadership are better served when he's not constantly battling 7-footers in the post. A true center behind him, whether that's Vucevic or Gafford, means Draymond can be the defensive rover he's always been, helping on switches, communicating on pick and rolls, and wreaking havoc without being the last line of defense. It also gives the Warriors lineup flexibility. Against teams like Denver, with Nikola Jokic, or Minnesota with Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns, having a legit center is no longer optional, it's essential. Vucevic and Gafford offer 2 totally different solutions to that problem. Want to outscore teams and stretch the floor? Go with Vooch. Need to lock things down defensively and run the floor? Gafford's your guy. Then there's the Curry-Butler dynamic. With Butler now in town, the Warriors suddenly have another star who thrives in half-court situations, lives for playoff battles, and takes pressure off Steph on both ends. Add a dependable big man to that mix, and suddenly, this roster starts to look a lot more like a real contender than it did just a few months ago. The idea of a Curry-Butler-Vucevic or Curry-Butler-Gafford trio is extremely intriguing because for the first time in a while, Golden State would have multiple ways to win games. They could shoot you out of the gym. They could defend you into submission. Or they could grind out wins with their veterans in the clutch. The financial aspect, of course, can't be ignored. The Warriors are deep into the luxury tax, and adding a big contract like Vucevic's or even Gafford's more modest one would require some serious cap gymnastics. But Golden State has shown time and again that they're willing to spend if the move makes them better. Joe Lacob has made it clear that as long as the team is contending, he'll write the checks.